Welcome in, Gemini, to Don Williams Tarot. Thank you so much for finding your way to my channel. If you have sun, moon, or rising placements in the sign of Gemini, this message may be for you. However, keep in mind that this is a general reading, so not all messages may resonate. So keep what does, leave what doesn't, as I wouldn't want there to be any misunderstandings. If you're brand new to my channel, you may want to consider subscribing to my channel, as I am just starting to offer live readings on YouTube only at this time. If you were to subscribe, then you would be notified as to when I'm going to be going live. So that would be one of the benefits of that. We would love to have you join us anyway. So we welcome you in. For those of you who are returning, please do me the favor of clicking that like button. Believe it or not, it does make a difference for the algorithms, and it helps YouTube recognize that you are watching these videos and that they have meaning for you. Okay, so I appreciate your support. Now, today's reading is going to be a general overview for the month of June. I did sit down, I did my meditation for my group of Geminis who are my subscribers. And the interesting thing is I started these readings yesterday, and what I keep picking up is that June is kind of this pivotal month for a lot of reasons. For one thing, a lot more information is going to be shared during this month. And it feels as though it's a pivotal month for some reason. I haven't been given any other clarity other than some of us are really going to really be feeling a bunch of different emotions this month, okay? So today what I plan to do is I'm going to do a Celtic cross for you. I'm going to start out your reading with a message from the universe. I'm going to read your cards. As I'm reading your cards, I'm going to take myself off screen so that we can focus on your cards. At the end of your Celtic cross, I'll put myself back on screen, and I plan to pull 5 cards from the Tea Leaf Tarot. I think it's an oracle deck, sorry, Tea Leaf Oracle, whatever it's called, which will give additional insights for you from Spirit, or it may give us some clarity as to some of the messages that you've already received. Okay, so I've already shuffled our cards. I've got everything going for us here. I'm going to take myself off screen. And we're going to start off with, let me put my glasses on so I can read your message from the universe. When the world feels like it's coming crashing down around you, take that as an opportunity to find yourself and let go of who you thought you were. Not all storms come to destroy your life. Some come to clear your path. Decide that this crisis will be a turning point for what you have been waiting for. It is such an interesting message, isn't it? Because this is exactly what I am feeling in terms of what I'm trying to express to you for this month of June, Gemini. I do feel as though there are things that are going to come crashing down around us, but I'm looking at it more from a collective level, like really from a global experience for many of us. So it's really important. You know, Spirit always tells me that you always want to wear your armor of God. You always want to protect your space, especially if you go out in large crowds, those types of things. Because then what happens, it allows your little feelers to come up, your little spidey senses, and allows you to feel when energies are shifting, when you become very comfortable with having your bubble around you, and anything that comes in and intrudes, you will start to notice when that happens, and then you can make adjustments, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lay out your cards. Wow. Starting off with this beautiful world card. Wow, Gemini. So really right off the bat, this is saying some major big ending is coming for you. Or maybe you're already aware of what this ending represents. But typically the world is about harmony and balance and feeling fulfilled. It is a completion card. It is the last major arcana in the deck. So it feels as though some of you are having a perfect ending, or you're feeling peaceful in this moment for something that you have completed, or you know that you have ended a major cycle. Now, for me, this card for me does represent spiritual cycles as well. And many of the messages that are coming through in this round for June have been more on a spiritual than a day-to-day level. And it feels as though many of you have done a graduation. You have completed something that was major for you. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Oh, goodness. Man, you can't make this stuff up, can you? Okay, let me get to that in just a minute. So we have the Three of Swords, Six of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Cups. We have the Eight of Pentacles, so progression. We have the King, even more progression. This is all about finances, career, money. And then we have the Temperance card, which is a major arcana. We have the Five of Cups. Ooh, the Empress. I love her. Oh, and the Chariot. Okay, so right off the bat, we see some good and we see some sadness and disappointment, okay? And what I'm talking about here is Gemini, the Magician, and the Lovers represent your energy, as well as the Queen of Cups, who is not here. Swords represents that air energy. And we only have this one air sign here, which is that Three of Swords. The interesting thing is, as you're going up your ladder here, you do have three major arcanas. So of your reading, you have four majors, right? We have a lot of pentacles. So a lot of you are going to be working on emotional things, as well as your physical security, your mental, I'm going to say mental health, your regular health as well, your day-to-day health, your career, your possessions, and your home. And as I was saying, you start off with the world. Now, this right here is what sets the energy and your main focus for the month of June. And the energy itself is a card of completion. Like I said, something really big has completed for you. It doesn't mean that you're one and done. Basically, what this says is that now you're going to be starting a new portion of your path. And it feels as though whatever has come in for you is going to create this integration of yourself. It's going to create more balance within yourself. It's going to give you a lot of understanding, clarity, bringing some conclusions. You're going to have some really great insights from this experience, whatever it may be. And as I'm saying that it is a conclusion, it does feel as though there is a graduation here, or some level of completion on a very big soul level. I feel as though now you are really stepping into your leadership role. You're really stepping into your knowingness. You will be able to teach the things that you have learned, the things that you have integrated within yourself, and that you have reconciled, for yourself. I think this is a beautiful card. The thing about the world is that it's very much like the Wheel of Fortune, in that once we have completed and got to this to the finish line here, we do start the race over again. But that whole experience is going to be different. Some of you are feeling a loss of some kind. The Three of Swords is a loss. The Three of Swords is a painful separation, a loss of some kind. It's an opportunity for you to heal. Now, this is actually in your crossing position. So this is either what's helping you or hindering you. Now, you're not the only sign that has gotten this Three of Swords. And basically what I feel this is representing is the sadness and the deception that we have lived our lives with. One of the things that I've been seeing a lot lately is, I live in the United States, and my United States is not the same United States I grew up in. It has drastically changed in the last, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 years, maybe. But it isn't anything like when I was growing up. So it's really a big thing. And you might be looking around and realizing that for yourself as well. Now, the other thing this is about finding your inspiration again. The thing about the swords is the threes represent clarity. It also represents creativity. And the swords represent the way that we think and the way that we express ourselves. So typically when you see this card, there's usually light, but it is not on this deck, but there's usually light around this heart. And that is where, the God of our heart is coming in and helping us to heal our deepest wounds. And it feels as though this energy is a 3. That means that it's a short-lived, I mean, you're going to feel these feelings, but you're going to be able to pick yourself up and keep moving forward. However, you are going to feel the sting, right? Whatever this is representing for you. And it's going to represent something different for all of you. Some of you, it could be the loss of a relationship. It could be the loss of friendships, right? Maybe because of the whole COVID situation, many of you have lost friendships. Many of you have lost family relationships because maybe your beliefs and your thoughts didn't align with theirs. And so it's quite a painful experience to recognize and realize. But the other thing that I want to share with you that I have been sharing about this card in these readings is that this is a situation you will heal from. You are going to recognize that people have moved out of your life, as painful as it may be, for a reason. And because of that, it really defines those relationships for you. It really defines their level of commitment, their level of love, their level of understanding, their level of seeing past all of those things, right? And honoring you and your feelings, right? At the same time, we can't diminish what their feelings are either. So they have a loss as well. And we always have a tendency to look at our loss. We look at our pain. At the same time, we also need to recognize that there may be pain. There may be deep sadness on their part as well, especially if they were allowed, if they allowed themselves to, get the jab. And now some of them may be suffering, okay, because of that decision. So just be aware that this energy is going to surface this month. It's going to come up for you to look at. You are stronger than your thoughts, and that you do have really beautiful energy surrounding you and helping you get through whatever this is representing for you. Now, what are your thoughts this month? You are going to really step into your gratitude. You're going to have gratitude as a major attitude for yourself this month. Sixes are about persevering. And of course, the pentacles have to do with our physical security and our wealth. He is definitely being very generous. He's giving to the poor. He does have the scales here, which I feel is an important thing to bring up, because you don't want to be in a position where you're giving so much of yourself away. Not only are we talking about your physical part of you, but also that part of you that is your energy. You're going to really be balancing your energies this month. You're going to be evaluating, where do I want to give? Where do I want to, because it's the generous thing to do. And I feel as though from my heart, I want to be able to give to others. And then at other times, you're going to be thinking about whether or not it is really worth your time, energy, and attention. Okay. But for the most part, I feel that you're really stepping into your generosity. You're feeling those feelings of, you know what, I do have a life that is vastly different from many people on this planet, and I feel very fortunate. And you're going to step into that energy for yourself, and you're going to feel that within yourself as well. Now, your base has to do with the 7 of Cups. Now, for me, this is kind of my smoke and mirrors. Like you can tell because of all this gray smoke around these cups that he can't see things clearly, nor is he meant to. He's being spoiled for choice. And you have to look at the various things in the cups, right? The various things in the cups, some of them are positive and uplifting, and some of them are quite dark. And it's just like many things in life, you have to really learn to use your discernment in order to be able to assess these things. So as the figure here on this card is looking at these options for himself, of course, he wants to pick the one that is going to benefit him the most. But again, there is this smoke and he can't really tell which one is which. So what Spirit has been sharing with me with this card, 7s are typically about learning about confidence, about your personal confidence, about learning about discernment. This is also a card of gaining experience, utilizing your existing experience. So when you're faced with all these opportunities, all of these options, all of these gifts, Spirit says, align with your heart. Align with your heart, your gut, and then your mind. And if you can get all of those in alignment, more than likely you will be bringing in the information from above, from your higher self, to be able to choose the right course of action, the right direction for you. Okay. Now, in your immediate past, we have the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles is my card of skills. This is a card of working hard towards completing projects. Some of you may be building businesses. Some of you may be looking at options where you can create more financial security and success for yourselves. What this is saying is that you do have that skill set. You are very focused when you put your mind to it. It feels as though many of you are really focusing on that energy, even though this is in your immediate past. This is not far past you, meaning that this is in your distant past, meaning that you're still focusing on these things and they do have importance for you. But as you move forward, you move into this King of Pentacles energy. So for those of you who maybe are, entrepreneurs, or maybe you have your own business, or maybe you are a consultant of some kind, I do feel as though you are going to stay very busy. As you're moving into this King of Pentacles energy, this is saying that you're becoming full of knowledge. You're recognizing how to build your physical security, your material wealth. And that's important because, especially at this time, people are looking at various places where they can put, their retirement money. There's a lot of information out there as to whether or not the fiat dollar here in the US, which affects a lot of things for the American public, but also a lot of the other countries on the planet had always looked to the US as, that pillar of the money situation. And I feel as though other options are going to be available. This is the King energy does represent the masculine energy. It does represent knowledge. It does represent doing your due diligence to figure out where you want to put your money so that you can secure your future. This could represent an individual that you may be working closely with in order to find that venue for yourself. Or this could be just you stepping into your kingly energy and really looking at that for yourself in the very near future. Now, what's coming into your kind of like your long-term energy or your distant future, this is your immediate future. And then as we go up the column here, we're really starting to look at things that are coming in for you kind of more for the long term. And you have the Temperance card. Now, first of all, the thing that I want to say is she is our alchemist. She is the one that changes water into wine, or she changes lead into gold, or I don't know how you make materials like that, but you know what I'm saying. You know the premise behind the alchemy of what she's doing. And she's pouring from one cup to another. She has 1 foot in the water. She has 1 foot on the earth. So for me, this is a spiritual card. Basically, what this is saying is you really want to be very patient with yourself, specifically during this time. You really want to align with your higher self at this time. You want 1 foot on the earth plane, meaning that you're finding your balance here in the earth plane so that you can get through your days. But you also want 1 foot in the water, which represents your subconscious energy, but it also represents your spiritual aspect. And you really do want that balance. She is about balance. She's also about caution. She's telling you before you make any big major decisions on things, you really want to think things through. You want to be able to look at things like from the fine print. So if you're going to be signing anything, you're really going to want to be sure that you know what you are getting yourself into. Now, the other thing about her that I like to talk about is she does have this path to glory back here. She can walk that path at any time. And as you can see, the crown is there. This for me represents the crowning glory of the God of our heart. She is aligned with her mission. She's aligned with her path. She's doing everything that she can in order to get herself prepared and ready. This is angelic energy here. You are an angelic being. You have angelic energies within you. So tap into that for yourself. The last thing about temperance is that you definitely do want to think through things before you make any really big decisions, okay? Now, your next card has to do with your closest relationships in the external influences. And some of you are recognizing that you have lost a love for something. Now, this guy has lost his love for wine. He used to really love wine and he used to look forward to his wine, but now you can see that his cups have spilled over and he has his back towards us. So we can't really see his expression, but we can tell by his body position with his head down that he is feeling a loss of some kind. And for me, what this is really indicating for us is that, you know, there is a loss of some kind, there is a grieving. This is also my card of disillusionment, meaning that he deluded himself into thinking that the wine was everything, when in reality, you know, he learned that after a while he had no taste for it anymore. Now, fives are about changes coming in, and it is a minor arcana. So his whole way of looking at things can change just by changing his perspective. If he were just to turn around, he'd recognize there were 2 more beautiful cups filled with some other beautiful things for him. He could pick those cups up. He can go over that bridge and go to that castle over there and live happily ever after, right? So it's kind of one of those minor setbacks, or this can signify that there is a little bit of wallowing in self-pity. That energy is also prevalent in this card. And then lastly, what else would you like to say, Spirit, about this? This is also associated kind of with this 3 of swords here as well. And it's really going to take a little bit of time, so be patient with yourself. Give yourself the love and the attention and the care and patience that you're going to need with yourself when you recognize that some of the things that you held on to as a belief or held on to as something that resonated with your heart is coming up for us to look at and to evaluate and to reassess. Okay. Now, when you do all of that, I do feel as though with this next card, which has to do with your future feelings about things, you are going to feel more comfortable. This Empress energy, she is the divine feminine. And regardless of whether you're a male or female listening to this video, we all have masculine and feminine energies within us. And she is meant to have this position of opulence. She knows how to create wealth, abundance, happiness, joy. Excuse me, I need a drink of water. And she has the sign here on this heart, which represents the sign of Virgo. And Virgo is the sign that overrules our love. It's our love planet. And for her, she can tap into that unlimited love. This is also a very fertile card. So for those of you who are in your fertile years, and if you are looking to start a family, now is the time to do it, as it feels as though everything is aligning for you. You do have the gold on the back of this card, which represents that it is, a divine energy coming in. And the Empress is all about unconditional love for yourself, for humanity, for the planet. Anywhere, in any way that you can tap into that expression for yourself is going to enhance your life. I feel like she's coming in to remind you that you too have all of her capabilities. She is my natural nurturer. She is about growth and creativity. She has plans for abundance and she knows how to create them for herself. So I feel as though this is you. You are stepping into this energy. And when you do step into that energy, it is going to project you forward on your path in such a amazing way, because the Chariot is all about moving forward, leaving the past behind, going towards the adventure. Some of you may be moving home. Some of you may be moving job. Those are energies that come in with the Chariot as well. But this is fast moving energy. It is a major arcana. So regardless of what your situation is, it's going to be fast moving as we move through the end of the month, because this is your final outcome. A lot of things are going to come in for change. And that's exactly what this is talking about, right? Now, if you look at him, he's all dressed up in his armor because he's leaving his home behind him and he's going out there for the adventure. So I feel as though that's exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about we're leaving behind those things that no longer serve us, that no longer allow us to move forward. And I feel as though you're going to be balancing, because there's a lot of energy here about balancing your emotions, balancing your feelings towards things. But at the same time, it feels as though, Spirit is grabbing both of your hands and going, come on, we're going this direction. And off you go. Overall, it looks good. There is some sadness associated in this reading. There is some stuff that you're going to be looking at. You're going to have a fluctuation of emotion. Allow yourself to feel those feelings. Those feelings are coming up for release. They're coming up. Anything that triggers you is a reminder of where you have stuck energy, okay? So utilize it to your best outcome. Okay, put myself back on camera. Hello, and I'm going to read your last 5 cards, which will tie up your reading, give you further insight from Spirit. And if you've made it this far, please like the video. Thank you. Your first card is Bear. Dangerous, especially in money matters. Now, what I was saying is there is a lot of money represented here. And it could be one of those things where, bear market, right? I just thought of that, the bear market. Ooh, the stock market. Yeah. Well, I don't know how this is going to roll out for us. All I know is that you are going to be focused on your finances for this month. You're going to be still working hard. You're still looking at options as to where you can place your money. You are going to be feeling a bit generous as well, which is a good thing. But Be aware of that. Then we have a skull. Hidden secrets can harm you. And it's interesting that this came up because, one of the things about the skull energy, of course, is that it always makes you wonder. But with some of these cards that you received, it is talking about the importance of why we want the secrets to come out. We really want those secrets to come out because as a collective, as humanity moving forward and progressing on our spiritual path, the secrets have to come out because we have to be aware of them. We have to recognize what's been going on our planet for all these years, where the lies are coming from, and how we're going to heal from those lies, right? I feel as though this is very much tied into a collective healing energy for us. Scales, keep your life in balance. Yeah, I was just talking about that with that 6, right? There they are, scales. And you're going to feel a little, at times you're going to feel as though, you're on a rocky ship. But, keep yourself together. You're going to get through it. We can all get through it together if we work together as a collective. A handshake, a meeting with a stranger could be important. That sounds good. And then a rat. Someone working against you behind your back. Well, I would just be cautious of that energy. And, like I was talking about earlier in your reading, put on your armor of God, surround yourself with the white light, whatever it is, the tools that you use to protect yourself. And the reason why that's so important is because then you become very sensitive. You recognize the energy around you as your energy because you've placed it there. And you recognize when other things come into that space and you know that it starts to feel icky, sticky, that you need to do a clearing, right? Or you need to do something to reset everything to get that energy out of there. That rat, something to think about. Anyway, this is what I have for you for the month of June. Of course, I'm going to be speaking more about June as we move through the month. I hope you found some nuggets here that will help you. And I read all of your comments. If you've got anything you'd like to share with me, I will converse with you. And until next time, take very good care of you and enjoy your month of June. Cheers.